everybody. Uniquely Lady Charlotte, and I'm just getting off work. I've worked 2 12-hour shifts in the last 2 days, and I'm a bit tired. I got my bags under my eyes. I'm a mite tired. But anyway, I'm okay. I may do a little ride share when I get closer to my apartment, so I may do that. But I wanted to say this: Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Happy Juneteenth. And also, I was sitting at my desk today, and I realized today being June the 19th is actually 1 month since my daughter passed away. 1 month. And that hit me kind of hard. But then I had to dig down spiritually and just remember the promises of God, and remember, what it says in the Bible about being absent from the body and be present with the Lord. So I had to dig and find those things and bring them back to my remembrance, because I did feel sadness coming across, but I had to tell myself that it wasn't a sad occasion. It's just I'm going to miss her tremendously. And I find myself watching all of her videos and looking at her picture. So I took a picture of her after she had passed away before I sat down and held her hand and watched TV for a little bit. But I know I got to stay upbeat, and I got to get better at this and handling this, because another 19th is coming up next month, and the following month, and the month after that. So I just got to get used to it. That was my middle daughter. My oldest daughter, she told me something yesterday. Well, I asked her a question. She answered my question. And so I'm just going to share it with you guys. I'm not going to give an opinion about it one way or the other. I'm just going to tell you what she told us 2 days after her sister had passed away. So we were sitting in my apartment, my 2 girls and son-in-law, and we were sitting there and we were talking about Kristen. And my oldest daughter said it she said what she said in a cheerful manner. She said, Mama, she said, I had a dream about Kristen last night. This is 2 days after Kristen passed. And I said, really? I said, what was the dream about? She said, well, it didn't really feel like a dream. It felt real. I said, well, what happened? She said that, she just came to visit her. And she talked about a trip. So I didn't pay too much attention to it then. But we were talking 2 days ago. And I said, Candace, that's the one Uniquely Lady Candy Cane, the one that breeds Frenchies. I said, tell me about the dream you said you had about your sister. And she said, well, it was like I told you before. I said, I really don't remember. I don't know if I was in the headspace to remember about, all the details. I said, but just tell me again, what happened in the dream? She said that Kristen came up to her and said, hey. And she said, hey. But she was like, what are you doing here? And Kristen said, I came to see you. And she said, but you can't come to see me. You can't be here because you died. She said, Kristen said to her, I didn't die. I was just asleep. She said, no, you died because I took a picture of you. She said, then she started digging in her purse in her dream, got her phone out, and showed Kristen pictures of her laying in the bed, passed away. She said, see, you died. She said, oh, I don't feel dead. And she said her sister started laughing. Now, my daughter had an infectious laugh, especially when she really, really gut rolled. She had an infectious laugh. Sounded just as country. So she said she started laughing like she does. And she's like, I'm not dead. She said, and I don't remember dying. I remember I went to sleep, but I don't remember dying. She's like, well, I know for a fact you did. She said her sister then said to her, Kristen then said to her, well, did y'all have a funeral? And she was like, yeah, we had a funeral. She said, did you cry? She said, yeah, I cried. She said, she told Kristen, told Candace, she said, I can't believe you cried. She said, why would I not cry? You're my sister. She said, I know, but you always seem so strong. You've always seemed so strong. Kristen has always looked up to Candace because she's the oldest, and Candace is a lot like me. She's very strong-willed. And uniquely Lady Baby, she's very strong-willed. Actually, all three of my girls are very strong-willed, or were strong-willed, and very tough when you need to be. And she's like, well, she said, Kristen asked her, well, why did you cry? She said, because you died. She said, Kristen told her again, I'm not dead. She said, okay. She said, but I also cried because we had fallen out and hadn't spoken in 2 years, and we just barely got to make up, and which was true. They had barely got to make up. The day they made up was when Kristen couldn't talk, but she was conscious, but she could move her lips because she had that tube in her, and you couldn't hear her voice, but she was looking at her sister, and her eyes got real big, and her heart monitor and all that started racing, and I could read her lips, and she was saying, I'm sorry. And Candace was saying, I'm sorry back to her. So they made up just in the nick of time. So it doesn't mean nothing to hold grudges against people. It just profits you nothing, because they almost didn't get a chance to make up. So Candace said, Kristen said to her, well, I got so much to do. I got to go. I got a lot to do. And Candace asked her, what do you have to do? She's like, well, I got to go on this trip with Nick. Now, I don't know who Nick is, but I remember her mentioning somebody named Nick. And I told Candace, I said, Candace, did you know your sister was supposed to go on a group trip to Jamaica with her friends before she passed, but she didn't make it, of course. She said, I didn't know that. She said, she was telling me that Kristen had said that I got a lot to do. I got to go on this trip with Nick. And I got so much to see, so much to do. She said, I'm just really busy. So she said, Mama, she just kept talking about this trip and how excited she was. I said, well, I do know she was going to Jamaica. And I do remember her mentioning a guy named Nick one or two times. I said, but I don't know who that is. So, I don't know. It just, all that played back in my head today. And even after she and I discussed it, Candace and I discussed it, I was still just thinking about the conversation. And Candace said it felt so real, like she was right there. And she said, Kristen kept saying, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not dead. I'm fine. So, I don't know. I'm not going to give an opinion on it one way or the other. I just can tell you what, my oldest daughter said happened during the dream. So that's all I can tell you. Anyway, I'm going to go. Almost home. Be there in about 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to get on to the house, relax a little bit, do some work on my business, and wait for my other Temu stuff to come in. I got some beautiful dresses on Temu. I got 2 dresses that are questionable. I don't like the way they fit or the way they hang. So other than that, things are going well. Stepping my foot back in the game in the dating world. Ooh, that's scary. I have to talk about that at some point in time on my TikTok about the challenges of being older and dating, or trying to date, or being interested in dating. I'm kind of in between right now, but we'll talk about some of the challenges you face dating as an older woman. So, we'll see if you find that interesting. All right, I'm gonna go home and get some rest. But leave a comment below on how you feel about people coming back, supposedly coming back and talking to you from beyond the grave, or dreams about past loved ones, or things you've actually seen. So let's share those stories, okay? And I'll work on dating after 50. See how that turns out, right? All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.